done in love like
Hey guys, we're Kristen and Jarrell Abraham.
Welcome back.
Be sure to subscribe to this channel and follow us on Insta.
My Instagram is JC Official. Her Instagram is
Kristen Nicole Official.
Alright.
We also have Yahweh Music LLC, so check us out for music and devotionals.
We gotta talk to you guys about something.
It's not really the elephant in the room because I don't think it's that obvious, but whatever. So I just want to address this myth or fact, right? Black people don't tip.
Come on.
Myth. Okay? Now, here's the thing. There may be some truth to black people not tipping or them not tipping well, but I'm going to tell you what we have experienced.
Tell them that.
So sometimes we'll go out and we'll notice that the other tables are getting served better than our table.
Or before our table.
Or, well, that's part of being served better than our table.
Sometimes our table isn't served at all. Like, let's address that elephant. Let's address that giraffe in the room.
Alright, it's a giraffe. That's a giraffe.
Yeah, like.
Another thing is, like, I noticed I mix, so like sometimes I pass for whatever. You know, because like if I don't get a lot of sun, sometimes I'm later or I have my hair a certain way, you know. But so recently we went out to eat, and I think this is actually for our anniversary. So we went out to eat, and he goes to the bathroom. So the waitress comes to the table and she's like, "Oh yeah, whatever you need," all nice and stuff. He comes back to the table, and all of a sudden, she's different. Rolling her eyes and everything. And I was like, hold on. Who is tipping you and you're rolling your eyes? Now,
I had to tip that night. I remember that. I had a wad of money in my pocket. And just like this. All the bills were tightly pressed together. You couldn't even get to separate them after that. I was like, you know, I feel like it's a brick.
Right.
In my pants.
So it's just,
I think I'm gonna...
it's stuff like that. Or sometimes we'll go out to eat and we're not really out to eat. We're out more so for the atmosphere. We've got a lot of allergies, which is also something that I think is another stereotype that we don't really know too much about, like different allergens and food groups and stuff. Well, we eat gluten-free. Right. We eat mostly organic. Sometimes we like to indulge a little bit. So we'll go out and we'll grab a drink, non-alcoholic of course, and we'll get like a little appetizer or something. Right. And, you know, I noticed the people kind of turn their nose up. Some of them don't. Some of them are actually really nice. And we tip them very well. We tip them about the same or sometimes even more than what our food actually is.
We are specifically the type of people who debunk that myth, because not only do we tip more than we're supposed to. So if it's 15%, we're usually tipping at like a batting average of 25. Like, yeah. You know, and honestly, the myth itself is slightly disheartening because it affects how we get treated when we go out.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know, everyone should already know not to judge a book by their cover.
Right. I mean, but that's kind of my point. My point is, if you are treating me a certain way because you think that I am a certain type of person, or you're not going to get as good as a tip from us as you would from another table, it's like, so what am I supposed to tip you? Just off the strength because I'm supposed to, or because... You know?
Right.
Like, usually that's how it works. You tip a certain amount because you're supposed to. That's the way that our system is set up. And then you tip more because the person is being a good waiter or waitress.
Right.
Like, if you don't come to my table, then what? I barely see you. You don't even know if my food is good. Like,
oh, not even just that. Not just you not coming to my table. You send your friends to my table. Why I got 4 different waiters?
Then that's who I'm supposed to tip.
And then you come back like, hey, is everything okay here, guys? How would you know?
Right. Everyone else. So who am I supposed to
Everyone else asked me that question 3 times before you showed back up. You was in the back of the kitchen eating. I know what time it is, but this is what I'm gonna say though.
We've actually had that happen before. Somebody came with ketchup on their mouth. Remember that?
And you know what it was? It was because we told them that the fries that they gave us the first time were cold. Now, why would you bring out cold fries? Lord only knows. But we told them like the fries are cold.
They were like soggy
rocks, like
just weird kind of cold.
French rock
it
fries.
wasn't like even edible room temperature. Nah, they were cold.
The joints was stale.
Cold.
They were stale. So you know, we asked them like, can we get fresh fries? So you know, they took them away in a huff. And we still tip this person. That's not. We're just telling you about some horror experiences, but you know, we still tip them.
Because we always tip, regardless how we get treated. We always tip.
So they brought it back out, and unless we're gonna get to this part, but unless they're extremely rude, there was like twice maybe in all the times we went out.
I don't think so. I think we were not going to tip, and then we decided that we would give them the base amount.
The 2 times we didn't tip, we didn't have a waiter. Okay, so I'm just leave that out there. I'm not even gonna explain that. There was actually no waiter that came to the table. Like literally, we had to just tell specific people like, "Hey, can we get this, and that? Can we order now?" And then they came and dropped the food off, and our table wasn't getting served. So those were the times where we didn't tip. But what was I talking about? I'm trying to remember. The fries. So she brought the fries back out, right? But before she did, my wife says, "You think she's gonna eat them?" And I said, "Why would she eat them?" She's like, "Well, I used to work here when I was younger, like in my early teens, so I know that sometimes they eat in the back. I know I used to like the fries." And I was like, if they're that stale, I don't think she'll eat them. She came back out with ketchup all over her mouth, put the fries down, and we were looking at her like, we know what happened to the mother fries. But you got some stuff in your mouth, like, and she was like, So, you know, it was like that type of thing. It was actually a funny experience, but, you know, it just goes to show you that you can't judge a book by their cover. Some people are hungrier than others. I want to say this much. It's not that black people don't tip, okay? You've got different scenarios. I'll say this. Sometimes people with lesser money don't tip. Sometimes people with financial constraints or people on a budget don't tip, okay? Sometimes people who decide they want to be cheap don't tip. Sometimes mean people don't tip. Don't tip, excuse me.
They cheap.
They cheap. Mean people don't tip, but it has nothing to do with being black. All right, let's just diffuse that whatever that is, that common way
it's
of
a
thinking.
myth, not a fact. So stop waiting the tables like that.
Right. Please don't do that anymore. And you know, it's like the same thing as saying, you know, if you're not a good waiter or if you're not serving your table right, the table more than likely won't tip. There's times where you shouldn't get as big of a tip as you do being a waiter or a server, and I would know because I used to do it back in the day at some point in my life, you know what I mean? But it's like, I knew that the customer service was linked to the amount that I was going to get at the end of the night, and when I found a way to work that system, I got tipped so big, my manager started getting angry. So,
well, because, sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but when you think about the logistics of it, if I'm coming into a dining establishment, I'm already paying for my meal.
Right.
And what these establishments are expecting is that you're providing customer service and that we're going to tip you. Right. But if you're not providing customer service, you're not coming to the table, or you're not coming as frequently as you are to other tables, you're not asking us how is the meal, you're not asking if you can get anything else, you're not asking if we want any refills or whatever the case may be. Right. Then it's kind of like, what exactly are we tipping for?
Correct. I'll be back on that, just to let y'all know. So it's like this.
It's like this.
It's not that black people don't tip. It's that disgruntled customers don't tip. Remember that.
I'm just trying to tell you.
That's it. All right.
And so if they mostly happen to be black, then it's probably you.
So this is what I'm saying. Don't treat them a certain way because of how they look. Don't treat them a certain way because of their ethnicity. Don't treat them a certain way because of their appearance. If they're rude, arrogant, or disrespectful, that's a whole other thing that has nothing to do with any of those things. Because you can get violated in any color.
Correct.
So just understand, that it has nothing to do with that, but, and if they do violate or disrespect, I apologize that you got to go through that. No one should have to.
Correct.
But just know that you'll never see it coming because of you assuming that it's because of them being in one specific category or another ethnic group. So,
and we're like people persons.
Yeah, we are.
So like we like to talk and we like to make you laugh and stuff like that. So if you rub us the wrong way, then that's saying a lot.
I say we're very easygoing. We're serious about our food because we're foodies. Foodies, but
Miss V's Kitchen,
Miss V's shameless
recipe.
plug.
I'm just saying.
But no, for real, like Miss V's Kitchen. We started our own business a year or two ago.
We cook, we bake,
all of it. So that
we also do customer service,
and that's how much food we were. And we did that for people with a dietary restriction, people who had allergies, people who couldn't eat the type of things that we were going to fix otherwise. So that for us was fulfilling. It was really awesome to see that. It was dope. But when you upset, people who are just that outgoing and just that, that caring and compassionate, it's you gotta self-reflect. You gotta check yourself. So, I guess at this rate we'll just wait and see what happens if that myth is ever fully debunked or whatever the case may be.
right?
But I would say that anybody of any race, ethnicity, any creed of any sort, just make sure you're tipping properly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, we will have more myth or fact, but I think we're good on this.
Myth versus fact.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope that you learned something or you can relate and you can apply it.
Learn you something.
Hey.